guys, like I said in the first intro video, I'm going to talk today about one movement that you can do day in and day out that helps support and strengthen your knees, your back, your hips, your posture, and your core trunk control if done correctly. And this, now the devil's in the details of this. It is a hip hinge, but done very specifically. This principle is very easy. Trust me, it's going to be very hard to do, but it's very easy in terms of the principle. So if you focus on what you're doing, you can do this and it will help you. Like I said, help back, knees, posture, core, everything. And that hip hinge we're going to get to right now. Okay. Now, big things have small beginnings. That's the title of this video. And this is the big thing. It has a very small beginning, and all it has to do is your knee position. It can change your entire body and how you move. But the hard part is focusing on it. Now, when I tell you how simple this is, you're probably going to blow it off. Oh, that's simple. And you're going to try it and think you did it, and you're probably not going to be doing it. So I'm going to show you how challenging it is to do. But this one simple thing, it literally is just knee position. I've helped a lady who was overweight, couldn't do stairs, and I know I can tell you guys how to do this. I don't have to see you do it all the time, but if you focus on what you're doing and listen to what I'm saying and use the correct form, like this lady did. And I only saw her once. She was gone. She went on a trip right after that, was gone for a couple of months. Emailed me about a month later and said, I can take stairs now, my knees don't hurt. So this is one thing you can do, again, like I said, for knees. And again, it's a big thing, but very simple in principle. I also have had a client who had her patellas, kneecaps removed. Long story there, but as you can imagine, with your kneecaps removed, stairs aren't really an option. I worked with her for about 3 or 4 months using this principle, and this principle got her to be able to do stairs, which she was not able to do in about 10 years. So again, focus on this little principle and stay to the end, because I'm going to give you guys some golden nuggets in terms of training and back issues. Now, to give you an idea how difficult it is to focus on this, although it's a very simple principle, a friend of mine and a fellow trainer, Danielle, was doing some lunges the other day. And I asked if she was doing them for what muscle group, and she said for glutes. So I tweaked the form a little bit in using this principle, and it lit her glutes up. And this is someone who's very aware of where her body is in space and time and is used to exercising, does deadlifts, all kinds of exercise. So I'm going to show you the little conversation we went through the other day and show you what I mean. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about here is knee position. Now this is fine. By the way, guys, I am not talking about, so don't jump ahead of yourself here and think I'm talking about where the knee should be behind the toe or ahead of the toe when you're doing exercises. Totally different topic. Negate that subject altogether. This is literally about getting your hamstrings and glutes to be more active. So my friend here, Danielle, was doing this very lunge right here, and when we spoke, she wanted to get the glutes. So what I told her was, keep the knee directly over the ankle. This is hard. Go ahead, guy, no lunge. When I mean over the ankle, I mean literally right over the ankle. I don't mean behind the ankle, I don't mean behind the toes, I don't mean outside the foot or inside the foot, literally straight over the ankle. So if you can imagine, if you were wearing a boot right now and you couldn't move your ankle, because she's not moving her ankle any, that's what it feels like. But trust me, I have plenty of people that will do 2 or 3 of these, like, all right, I got it, and 2 reps later, their knee's over their toe, which is fine if that's what you're looking for, but to maximize glutes and hamstrings, knee directly over the ankle, just like you're wearing a boot. Feel that glute?
Yes.
All right. You want to tell me what you felt?
Glutes were lit up.
An easy way to get glutes and hamstrings active and keep working for you. Now, it's a little easier to do single leg when you go to do it for the everyday person, and I encourage you to do this throughout your day. I challenge all of you to do this every time you sit down and get up, is to try to keep your knees right over your ankle. Now, it's a little challenging doing it with both legs because it requires you to hinge a little bit more. So this is what I was talking about. If you're able to keep your chest up, keep your back flat, and hinge back with the hips, in other words, hips move first, not the knees, hips move first, and you get all the way down in this position, you do it with a flat back. You're working on your posture, your trunk control, you're stabilizing and helping to support your knees and your hips and your back. Very simple, like I said, do it day in and day out every time you get up and down from a seated position. It's going to be hard to do. And I'll give an example, although you might be able to do it a little bit easier now. So let's have a seat in the chair. I should get a bench. Right, so just stand up like you normally would stand up.
Can I do right here?
Yeah, wherever you want. Okay, we'll do 2 more like that. This is normal sit and stand. Okay, back down. Now, guys try this at home, because I'm challenging you to do it, one of two things happens. I've been doing this for 20 years. The knee wants to be over the ankle. It wants to be towards the toe, because that's the way we're used to moving. It doesn't mean it's good. It means that's the way we're used to moving. So one of two things will happen trying this. Either the foot will slide back to get that knee overwards, or the hips will slide forward to get that knee forward. Those two things, your body's going to want to try to do that so that it uses the knee. Now, what we're going to do is keep the knee directly over the ankle, and we'll do it again. Requires more balance and control, right?
Right.
Oh, man.
So I'm being very literal about this, knee directly over ankle. It'll make all the difference in the world. It'll make the hamstrings and glutes fire up. It'll help support the knees. And you guys can do this religiously for 2 weeks. That knee pain is going to start dissipating. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Very simple thing to do.
I just scooped my chair
Now I challenge you guys when you do your lifts, try doing it this way. Now I'm never, like I said, I'm not saying never let your toe go forward, etc., etc. But if you want to maximize your glutes and hamstrings, give more support to your knees and back, this is the way to do it. Now here's the golden nugget for all you trainers out there, and for those of you with back discomfort. This is how you can teach a hinge with somebody with back pain, or for yourself. I call this a fascial out, because I don't really know exactly how this mechanism works, but I call it a fascial out in the sense that if we do this, my tissue is being pulled directly across my entire back. All you have to do is elevate one foot. It doesn't have to be high. And this will make teaching a hip hinge or a deadlift 10 times faster. So you're going to hinge one side. Now you can use this for a hamstring stretch also. But doing this motion right here on one side, do it enough 10 or 12 times. Go to the other side, do the same thing. You do this enough, then when you get to the point where you feel pretty good about how you're feeling and you're more mobile, you do this, it's not going to hurt anymore because you just taught your body to stabilize and you got your hips and hamstrings a little bit looser. Simple but golden. So if you're teaching a hip hinge, someone has back pain or discomfort or just not good at a hinge, elevate one foot, it'll make it that much faster, that much easier. If you have back discomfort or back pain, try it that way. Because you know the first thing we do if we have back pain, we think about our back when we go to do this. Try elevating one foot, get a little, work into it, get a little bit of stretch in the glutes and hamstrings. You do that enough, you'll be able to do this without pain. Your hips will be stronger, your glutes will be stronger, your trunk will be more stable, and done with a flat back, your posture will be better as well. Golden. So listen to me now and hear me later. Just do it. All right, guys. Now, once again, James McCown here, personal trainer for over 20 years. I've had RA for longer than that. I've needed a shoulder replacement, knee replacement for 15 years. Implementing this way of training has allowed me to keep moving and keep an active life. So subscribe, like, share, tell everyone you know that might benefit from this, especially trainers, because there's a lot of things you don't that I've come across, discovered, if you will, that aren't in books, they're in our training books. Things you learn when you actually deal with this stuff day to day kind of thing. So like, subscribe, share. Hope to put a video out every week full of these golden nuggets. So you got to stay tuned for that. Be back soon.